Welcome to Stock Knowledge and News with Arieous Invest, your trusted source for updates, earnings reports, and actionable insights to sharpen your stock market game. Join us as we explore market trends, decode the latest news, and empower your financial journey with expert stock knowledge. This is Trading Reimagined. Let's get started.
All right, so today we're going to dive into Tesla.
Okay.
Specifically looking at this new analysis from Stifel.
Sounds good.
You know, you forwarded me their notes, and it looks like they've kind of shifted their outlook a little bit on Tesla, so I thought it'd be worth taking a closer look.
I agree.
And just seeing, you know, what their thinking is and why they might have changed their mind.
For sure.
So
right off the bat,
yeah,
you can see that they've pretty significantly dropped their delivery forecast numbers.
Yeah, that was the first thing that jumped out at me, too.
Yeah, like for Q1 2025, they went from like 458,000 vehicles down to like 353,000.
Yeah, it's a huge difference.
Yeah, it's almost a 25% drop.
Yeah.
And that's just for next quarter. So that's
yeah, that's a big deal.
yeah, pretty significant.
That's what
and
makes you think.
for the whole year,
Yeah.
they also lowered it from over 2 million to like 1.86 million.
Okay, so why the sudden, change of heart? What's Stifel saying about this?
Well, it seems like they're pointing to two main things.
Okay.
One is what they call ongoing production challenges. So maybe some issues with scaling their manufacturing.
Okay, makes sense.
And then the other one is pretty interesting. They're saying there's been a shift in sentiment towards Elon Musk, which I think really shows how much public opinion can really impact a company.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's fascinating because they've lowered their delivery projections,
Right.
but they're still recommending people buy the stock, right?
Yeah, that's right. They only slightly decreased their price target from 474 to 455.
Right.
And they're keeping the buy rating. So that definitely says something about how they view Tesla in the long term.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're still pretty bullish on Tesla for the long haul.
Absolutely.
Oh.
I mean, their medium to long-term outlook is still very positive.
Okay.
They seem to think that these challenges are more short-term and that Tesla's strengths will win out in the end.
So what are some of the other short-term challenges that Stifel is bringing up?
Well, aside from the production issues and the sentiment shift, they also mentioned the new Model Y.
Oh, right, the Juniper.
Yeah, exactly.
That was supposed to be a big deal, right?
Yeah, it was actually the top-selling car of 2024.
Wow.
But they think that the launch of this new model will actually cause a dip in sales.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, they're going to be ramping up production of the new version and winding down production of the old one.
Right.
So there's going to be that kind of transition period where sales might slow down a bit.
Okay, and what about this negative sentiment thing? Is that, are there actual examples of that impacting Tesla?
Oh, yeah. Stifel actually mentions some specific things happening.
Oh, wow.
Like there have been protests and vandalism targeting Tesla facilities and even customer vehicles.
I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah. And they also mentioned damage to superchargers. So it's not just like a general feeling. It's having real-world consequences.
Okay, so that's the short term. But what about the future? What does Stifel see as the major growth drivers for Tesla going forward?
Well, one big one is a new lower-price model they're planning to launch in 2025.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. They think this could actually cause a little bit of a slowdown initially.
How so?
Well, because some people might hold off on buying a Tesla if they know a cheaper one is coming out soon.
Right.
But overall, they see this new model as a major way to expand Tesla's market.
To get more people in the door?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, reach a wider audience.
Okay.
And then another thing they're really excited about is the full self-driving rollout.
Oh, yeah, FSD. That's been in the works for a while.
Right. They're planning to launch it in Austin in June.
Okay.
And then they're hoping to have it nationwide by the end of the year.
Ambitious.
Yeah. And Stifel thinks this could be a really big deal for Tesla stock.
Okay, yeah. FSD has the potential to be a game changer.
For sure.
So it's interesting that Stifel's bullish on this, even though it's been delayed so many times.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a risky bet,
For sure.
but if it works out, it could be huge. Yeah. And there's one more thing that Stifel brought up that I thought was pretty interesting.
Okay, what's that?
They're talking about these potential new tariffs on imported cars. And they think that this could actually benefit Tesla.
How so?
Well, because Tesla manufactures its cars in the U.S.
Right.
So they wouldn't be subject to these tariffs.
Okay.
But their competitors who import a lot of their cars would be hit with higher costs.
Right.
So Stifel thinks this could give Tesla a real advantage in terms of pricing.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, especially if they can keep their prices stable while the competitors are forced to raise theirs.
It'd be interesting to see how that plays out.
For sure.
So basically what we're seeing here is that Stifel has adjusted its financial projections for Tesla.
Right.
You know, they lowered their delivery growth forecast for 2025 down to 4%.
Yeah.
And they've also revised their EBITDA estimates for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
But the bottom line seems to be that there are definitely challenges in the near term.
Yes.
But there's still a lot of long-term potential.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's really cool to see how these analysts are kind of weighing all these different factors from production and public sentiment to new models and even global trade.
Yeah. It's a really complex picture.
It is. It's a really great example of how, you know, there's a lot more to analyzing a company than just looking at their financials.
For sure.
So for anyone listening, this gives you a really good sense of why Stifel made these adjustments to their outlook on Tesla.
Exactly.
And I think it really highlights the complexities of analyzing a company that's at the forefront of innovation like Tesla is. I mean, it really makes you think about, you know, how do you balance those short-term market fluctuations and public perception with the potential of these really groundbreaking technologies like FSD and, you know, how do you form your own long-term perspective on a company like this?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And it's something that every investor has to grapple with.
Absolutely.
Especially in a fast-moving industry like electric vehicles.
Yeah, because the landscape can change so quickly.
Exactly. You know what seems like a sure thing today could be completely different tomorrow.
Exactly.
So you have to be able to adapt and adjust your thinking as new information comes in.
I think that's a great note to end on.
Yeah, I think so too.
Thanks for joining me.
It was fun.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll have to do this again soon.
Definitely sounds good.
Arieous Invest. Trading reimagined.